All right, we're doing a starter replacement on 03 GMC 2500 HD with the 6.0 gas engine. The starter location is underneath the passenger tire. Give me a second, I'll give you a better shot of it. So this right here is your starter. As you can see, there is your wheel well and your wheel straight up right next to your brake lines. Now normally there are 3 bolts to replace, pull and replace this, and there's one here, and typically there's one straight across from it from a bracket that's supposed to be on the back. I guess at one point in time before I got this truck, that bracket wasn't reinstalled properly whenever they put this back on. So we're going to go through a step-by-step process on pulling this out. I actually have some pretty good clearance, so I'm not going to have to take off my sensor to get mine out. Now both of these lower bolts are going to be 13 millimeter. Unfortunately, you can't use an impact. They won't fit between the spacing up there. Once you get those 2 lower bolts out, you'll see where they bolted all the way and threaded through the top. Your starter will pull up and out. You should be able to wiggle it right out. And those bolts look like this. Now that I have it out, I have access to the bolts on the back. I'm going to flip this up so it's facing me and I can get better access to it. Normally you can get these off by hand if they're loose enough, but I'm going to play it easy and use my sockets. Now these bolts on your wires, the 2 larger ones in my case are 13 millimeter and the smaller one is an 8 millimeter. Those got to come off.
Now, what is this?
Don't crank on them too hard. You might have to throw some deep creep or some anti-seize. As you can see, I actually busted one off. It was on there pretty good. And before I get this all the way off, I wanted to show you a close-up of how the other 13 millimeter in this bracket is set into place with this groove. When you put these back on, it's easy to see where they go for their size, and the fact that that sets into that there, and it only goes on one way. Here is the new and the old, and luckily when you do buy a new one, they do come with their own bolts, so you do not have to worry about reusing the ones you take off. So this is my fire shield. As you can see, it's pretty rusty. I'm gonna do some rust mitigation on that and show you what she looks like after.